So today I lost a few $100 on the micro gold. Actually, I lost about $318. And this is my live account on the Ninja. And we're going to talk about why I lost a few $100 and what to do about that. So in here, you're going to see my trades for the session today. I started somewhere over here. And this is MGC, micro gold. I traded on a micro and with the 3 contracts that was safe for my account. It's a little bit hard to see on this chart. I'm gonna move to another one so you can see clearer all my trades over here. This is the 10 range on the micro gold. And yes, the premise was that I saw at the very beginning of this session, it was high volatility, by the way. It started with a high volatility right over here. So we went down a little bit and then we spring up. We going up, we going up, we going up again, higher and higher. In the end, so I start joining myself into a trend over here. So I made a few good buys with a 3 contract each time on the micro gold. One, another. It was pretty good. So then another. So the trend was just one directional. When it's monodirectional, that means it's going to the same direction for a while. Anybody can make money, absolutely. But then where are you going to lose? When the trend's going to change. And so now we're going up again. And now here we go. This is the range that is predicted that we're going to down. But how can it be predictable? Because it's kind of like going on a sidewalk. Yes, we've got some support right over here. We've got it. But that was a first prediction that we're going down. Even that was a small prediction. But then it was repeated support over here. And then, okay, now I still try to go up. In the end, right over here, I've got the stop losses. A few stop losses there. I was waiting until the trend going to reverse. And I hope the trend's going to reverse. So over here, I still going long, wait for some drawbacks. It wasn't very pleasant, but then boom, I've gotten positive just by being lucky. Okay, and yeah, I lost 2 and I gained 2. Okay, here we go. And then I still believe that trend is going up. It will recuperate on the way up, but that wasn't the case. And what happens that after this range, I start feeling, no, we probably going down. And let me take this rectangle and put it, that was longer. Look, on a previous situation, actually, I realized that we're going down only over here. Here we go. Somewhere like over here. Why? Because you see, like the previous situation, we're going straight down. This is long range. We're going very fast down, bounce, down, long range. And then I'm like, okay, because of this long range and the previous long range, we probably don't have enough power to go high. So I started to sell right over here. I start shorting. So I was waiting that the price will release its energy on the way up, and then I was shorting way up and release the energy, buying energy, and then I was shorting again. So you see, I was shorting conservatively, because if I'm aggressive, I may just enter right over here because of the really nice peak tail pattern, You see, this is the candle and the POC at the top. Candle and the POC at the top on a blue, on a red candle, And there's a 1, 2, 3 in a row. Then it was repeating again the same pattern like over here. Red candles with the POC at the very top. So the sellers were winning at the top. It was like, okay, but I still was conservative going into the shorts. So even this movement, I decided, okay, I will be a little bit conservative. And then I was shorting again. So shorting, that was the long range. This range is very confusing, not really definite. And in a situation like that, it's better not to trade in any way, because we're not going lower, we're not going really higher. Yes, we bounced it a little bit higher, but you see, I wasn't trading over here. So yeah, I made one trade that was lucky. I was just lucky over here. Yeah, and for a while yet, the price went higher. So that was pure luck. Any trade over here into a way up or into a long, it was pure luck. So then, okay, so we're still going into the squeeze. So we're squeezing from up and squeezing from the bottom. This is the situation where I recommend no one to trade at all, because that was a false break, but we still made lower low. That was like just like over here. It was we're not break the trend line yet, which is continuous from over there. So that was a really tough situation. And what's going on now, we may still get some interactions, but it's really dangerous to trade because you don't have too much room up or not too much room down. It is better to wait what the price gonna do. Price may go on the one side, make a false break, and the gold loves that, and then going into the true direction. Or it may go down as a false break and then change the direction up. Why? Because there was a strong buyers today, very strong buyers. If they have the energy, they will keep going. They will keep going. So there is this situation is a dual situation, because these buyers accumulated so much energy, accumulated so many orders that they need to sell them to somebody. If there's nobody to sell them in the sidewalk, then they're gonna drop it significantly back to where they started. You see, they started actually right over there. So we have a chance to go down, absolutely. We have the chance to go up, absolutely. But we need to make a conclusive directional move. The sellers or buyers needs to demonstrate on both levels, level 1 and the level 2, that they are agree to go into the same direction. And only by going with a level 1 and level 2 passive and aggressive orders, they're going to demonstrate, yes, we're going to break any resistance on our way. But so far right now, it is a really dangerous situation. I just like start feeling that we kind of like are going on a reverse maybe over here because of this range. That was a long range. You see, like sharp range, very sharp down, sharp down, sharp down. But when we're going on more on a sidewalk, that is not in our favor. At this time, it was a little bit too early to rely on the heat map, because there's not too much. It is an early session, not too much history yet. And the best is to rely on the MBO indicator. So now, again, sharp turn. You see, this is W like a support, but then we're making sharp turn. Even like over here, look, we're making a W, but we're going lower. So we're trying to support, but we don't have enough support power. Another support, not enough power. Another support, not enough power. So far, I'm projecting that we're gonna make lower low over here. I don't know where the price is going to go after that, but looks like so far we're going to break this low. Okay, yes, we're gonna most likely we're gonna break this low. Let's wait for a couple minutes, and this is my account today. So the percent profitable is about 77%, not my best. Okay, not my worst though, but total trade 67, and quite most of the trades were like 3 contracts, and then so the total net is 400. On a micro gold, it's not really bad, because if it's a gold, you multiply by 10, you will see that it was approximately 4,000. But now is a 400 on a micro gold, and micro gold is safe, and I prefer to trade sometimes on the micro gold. So gross profit is about 740, and then I lost about 300 because of my indecision where the trend is going. Do I need to change my mind to start shorting instead of keep going long? So I lost, and this is my most difficult situations when I am losing, when the trend is changing. So it's easy to make a profit when the trend is monodirectional. It's going only long or only short. Now let me give you my reason for going only long, because right now what is happening in the White House and the new law that the Mr. Orange is trying to push through. Plus, there is a Fed Reserve is doing quantitative easing, and that means that there's a lot of cash is thrown on the market, and they're floating with the inflation. Inflation means the people going to buy assets. They're going to buy S&P. They're going to buy a NASDAQ. We're going to go up higher, and gold as the protection against the inflation also supposed to go up. So that was my reasoning for macroeconomics, reasoning for the going into the long. But you see, when we're scalping, we need to be very flexible and make our decision not on the large economy projection, but on the situation. And we have a good indicators to make this kind of projection in a short term, because when we are scalping, we're getting advantage when we have these MBO indicators. Because look at these charts, there is not too much heat map activities going on, even though I don't have the heat map right now on this chart, but I do have my market, this bubble, market delta, which shows me absorption. And on the footprint, you see there's a yellow rectangles at the very bottom, like over here. That is absorption as well. So absorption on some rectangles, on some footprint on the left, or even over here. So this is absorption. That is my discretion or interpretation right here on this candle. And looks like there's like a serious absorption right now. That's a really good sign of resistance. And so far, I'm not predicting that it's going to be enough to reverse the whole trend. But what we have the MBO indicator that shows immediate situation, what's happening on the market. And that helps sometimes even more than a heat map. So the footprint indicator, imbalance zones like you're seeing over there, buying imbalance, and some individual imbalances, single imbalances as well. On the footprint, when you tune the footprint really well, it is such a great tool that helps us to get oriented to go short or go long. Now you're still seeing that the volatility is pretty high, 22 ticks on the 30 seconds on the gold opening. This is quite big ATR volatility, because like last Friday when we opened, the volatility was like 3 times less. So this week, it looks like there will be a lot of volatility the whole week probably. We'll see what market gonna do.